Tomoyuki Sugano's four-seam, used almost as often as his primary splitter, has allowed a .663 slugging mark. The pitch keeps finding the middle of the zone, where its lack of velocity leaves little margin for error. That forces Sugano to lean on the splitter before Atlanta can sit on something straighter. The question is whether he can do that without falling behind and bringing the pitch back into predictable counts. Colorado visits Truist Park with Sugano opposite Grant Holmes. Atlanta is the heavy favorite, and the total is set at 9. Colorado does have ways to test Holmes, but his foundation is much stronger than Sugano's. Holmes brings a 3.60 ERA, and his primary slider has held hitters to limited damage. He throws the slider below the zone, so Colorado cannot simply wait for a mistake over the plate. If the Rockies chase it, Holmes can keep their power bats from getting the pitches they handle best. Hunter Goodman is the Colorado hitter who can break that plan. He has slugged .682 against the slider this season, and he has also done major damage against the sinker. The risk is contact. Goodman strikes out often and will expand the zone, exactly what Holmes wants from a hitter facing his slider. Colorado's best power threat can punish Holmes' primary pitch, but only if Goodman makes Holmes bring the slider up. TJ Rumfield gives Colorado a different look. He hits right-handed pitching well, controls the zone, and can extend an inning rather than trying to win every plate appearance with power. Moniak adds another threat because he has slugged .644 against the four-seam this season. Holmes is not especially vulnerable to either side of the plate, though, and his slider gives him a dependable answer when those left-handed bats come up. Colorado can score, but much of its damage depends on forcing Holmes away from the slider. Atlanta gets a much less forgiving target. Sugano owns a 5.00 ERA with a 13.8% strikeout rate, and left-handed hitters have slugged nearly .600 against him. He limits walks, but that strength matters less when strikes are being driven for extra bases. Atlanta can attack his command rather than waiting for it to disappear. Matt Olson is the center of that attack. He has slugged .548 against the four-seam and .639 against the sinker this season. Those are the straighter pitches Sugano uses most behind his splitter, and Olson produces hard contact without needing Sugano to make a completely obvious mistake. The splitter is still Sugano's best escape pitch, so Olson has to avoid chasing it below the zone. If Olson forces the ball up, Sugano's handedness, split, and pitch mix meet in the same dangerous place. Drake Baldwin creates the same problem from a different spot. He also handles Sugano's four-seam and sinker well, while his results against the splitter come from a small sample and should be treated cautiously. Ronald Acuna Jr. has been much better against the sinker than the four-seam, so his fit is less complete. That is still the difference between these offenses. Colorado needs a few hitters to pull Holmes away from his slider, while Atlanta has multiple bats waiting for the strikes Sugano prefers to throw. Truist Park is playing as a neutral run environment, and the conditions do not add much force to the ball. The air is warm and humid, but the wind is nearly still, and the expected carry is close to the park norm. Atlanta's bullpen is well rested, while Colorado's relief group has had the heavier recent workload. That makes the late innings more supportive of Atlanta without turning the weather itself into a reason to expect a shootout. Atlanta is better set up to score through Sugano's four-seam, sinker, and left-handed split, but Holmes' slider and the neutral environment make the total of 9 look reasonable rather than low. So if you're turning that read into a card, it's Hunter Goodman over 1.5 total bases for Colorado's concentrated power case, Drake Baldwin over 1.5 total bases for Atlanta's coverage of Sugano's straighter pitches, and Matt Olson over .5 home runs for the left-handed power matchup. Different props, one story. Colorado needs its best mistake hitter to deliver, while Atlanta can attack Sugano with several kinds of bats. For a deeper look at this matchup or any other game on the slate, you can explore the data and build your own parlays at ParlayBuilder.ai.